moving on to your prep that you sent me last night, and the story link that you sent me was prefaced by you just writing "duh" with an exclamation point, and it's about sex drive. So Roxanne's going to give us a full-blown dissertation right now, because the story you sent to me is from SciPost, so like Psychology Post. It's a website dealing with all kinds of psychological stuff, and the headline is, "Huge study finds men have a stronger sex drive than women." And you're like, duh.
Yeah, and so I sent you this article, and because I said duh, I didn't even need to read it because it's just...
You know what I just
the
realized?
headline said it all.
That duh is like partially there to the way to pronounce your fiance's name. Doug.
I think so if you want me to pontificate on this.
Hold on, there's something there. There's something there with duh.
For every dumb thing Doug says, like
duh. No. It's duh. Exactly. Oh man, we got to figure out something to do with that. That's perfect.
He needs to do that to me.
Duh.
And Doug.
And duh. All right, so what do you want to tell me about sex drive?
Well, I read this story, and I read the headline, and I was like, duh, dudes are horny. And then I forwarded it to you. There wasn't much more to say. I mean, I don't understand why they need to do a study to figure this out.
Well, they did a big study, an analysis actually of results from 211 different studies on sex drive, found that men on average have a substantially stronger sex drive than women. Men more often think and fantasize about sex, more often experience sexual feelings, more often engage in personal activity. The study was published in the Psychological Bulletin. And you look at the numbers here, the numbers are dramatic. They looked at 211 studies that included 621,463 participants altogether.
Wow.
That is big. That's a big study. The researchers first explored potential gender differences in biased reporting, or responding rather. One of the key indicators of this area are reports of participants on how often they have sex. The reasoning is that if participants are representative sample of the heterosexual population, whenever a male has sex, there must also be a woman doing the same. This means that there should be no differences, blah, 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 since around samples had 11% of homosexual participants, and homosexual women were expected to have sex somewhat less than homosexual men. There could be an overall lower. Anyway, it goes into a lot of the logistics here.
That's a lot of logistics right there.
Okay,
But,
let me break it down.
Okay.
So I think two things. Number one, obviously you guys have more testosterone, and that's what makes you amorous, right?
Is it?
Women have it too, but you guys have significantly more. And so that's the physical or physiological reason. And then I think men, you guys don't have as much on your mind in a sort of multitasking way. Like I'm constantly.
How's that?
Remember that old movie with Mel Gibson, What Women Want or something? And they show the brains
I don't watch those rom-coms.
Okay,
if there's one genre that I could just, I think I'd rather watch, lumberjack movies than
That's a whole different genre.
Yeah, okay. Well, back to the movie.
I'm not a rom-com I don't know.
Well, it doesn't matter if you are or you aren't. The point is, Mel Gibson could read women's minds, and he was shocked at all the things that we worry about simultaneously. So it's hard to worry about the kids and your job and da-da-da-da.
Were they showing like bubbles of what the women were thinking?
No, he could hear them.
Oh,
he could magically hear them.
Oh, okay.
And so then, you realize, so that's another difference I see between men and women. Like I catalog all these things about my family in my head that Doug has to rely on me for, that he's like this girl schedules. And I have all of this information. And so I don't have as much RAM or space or gigabytes to think about sex. However, one of the things they mentioned there is men fantasize about sex more, and I think women do. We're in the same playing field. You're not like out of our league on that.
So sex drive, has it been your experience that all of the men that you've known had a higher sex drive than you, or have you had instances where your sex drive was higher than the males.
Okay, number one, we're only going to speak in current times because I'm sure that if I was asking you two the same questions about your situation,
What does
you would not
Bono
want
and
to go
U2
back.
what does U2 have to do with this?
You would
What
not
does
want to go
Bono-
back pre-Allison and pre-Michelle
You
to
kidding me?
discuss this.
I've been a machine since day one. You kidding me? You ever see a cockroach on his back kicking a screw? That's me right
You
there.
know,
baby.
oh
I'm ready to
God,
go.
oh my
I'm-
God!
I'm
All
a-
right, stop,
I'm a-
stop, just stop right.
I'm a power bottom.
Right?
Let me hit the dump button
Yeah.
on that. I gotta, unfortunately, won't erase it from my mind. I need a mind erase dump button.
I'm a
So
straight up-
not only does it take it off the air, it also just removes it from my mind.
I tell you, I've been a power bottom
I
since
need the
1990.
neuralizer. I need the, the little like metal pen thing that made you forget everything from what was that?
Listen.
Men in Black.
Listen.
Yeah, the neuralizer.
Power bottom since
Yeah.
90, baby. Let's go.
Good for you.
I just dumped that.
Why?
I
Why?
just
I
dumped
don't-
that.
I didn't know
don't-
why either. It
Yeah,
sounded, it
seriously.
didn't sound.
No,
yeah, I
yeah.
don't have to be with Fester on that.
I just dumped
I didn't
Fester
hear
on that.
anything bad on that.
I dumped
Okay,
that.
back to explicit sex
No,
questions of Roxanne, but we'll dump that.
It's not explicit sex questions.
It's kind of-
Roxanne, you sent me the story.
Okay, so
it's
what?
My experience. I mean, just I feel like guys are horny. That's all, and. And
You know what we ought to do?
Well, here's what you do: look in your own household. This is an easy question to ask yourself: who turns the other one down? Do you guys get turned down? Because I know I don't get turned down, right? So that's why I make that statement.
You don't get turned
Right?
down. All right.
No-